Welcome to episode 3 of Tuesdays with Trent, where Trent will be sharing industry news and knowledge to help you make it better. Today, Trent is talking about steel tariffs and how fiberglass rebar can help.
Let's talk about fiberglass rebar. In December, the Canadian government has put some foreign tariffs on steel coming into Canada. At some point in 2026, we expect to see price increases on some steel products. What the full impact is, we're not sure, but what we're seeing right now, it's anywhere from 5 to 15% is what we believe is going to be an increase on some of these products. Steel rebar is going to be affected. I think the big one going into this year, there's price stability. So if you're quoting some jobs right now and you're not going to be pouring until May or June, the fiberglass rebar is going to be able to give you some price stability and protect your quotes. Fiberglass rebar's tensile strength is 3 times stronger than steel, and the big one, it's 4 times lighter than steel. You start thinking about, you're working with ICF construction, you're like at your 4th and 5th and 6th row high. Now you've got one person able to carry, a bundle of rebar, and they can lift it up to the top to whoever's doing the work up on top. It's going to speed up the time to do that, and it's not going to be so hard. On the job site, when you're cutting fiberglass rebar, most of our customers are using their miter saws. They're just putting a fine-tooth blade in, and you get a nice clean cut on the rebar. The big thing we hear from customers that use fiberglass rebar is it's easy to move around. One person can carry it. They can work with rebar all day. They're not tired. It speeds up our project. To give you an example, we have one customer in Yorkton who does implement buildings, and some of these buildings get to be 300 feet long. When he was using steel rebar, it was tough to get employees to get to the job site. It's not a fun job. The fiberglass rebar has made that job much easier. In fact, that's all he uses right now is fiberglass rebar in his projects. So at McMoney Nates, we stock fiberglass rebar in 10 millimeter, 15 millimeter, and 20 millimeter thicknesses. So if you're doing foundations, we've got the dowels, for your footings. We've got the rebar corners for foundations in ICF blocks. We've got the grade beam stirrups. Now we recognize that some jobs you need to have some special trims, but with a little bit of notice, we can have those special size, components brought into you for your jobs. You can use this any place that you use steel, but we recognize that you're going to have to be talking to a building inspector, and they're going to want to know a little bit about fiberglass rebar if they're not familiar with it. So at our stores right now, we have some design guides for fiberglass rebar in ICF applications, and in that design guide, we have certification for its uses in a lot of different applications. So, feel free to talk to any of our stores, get those design guides, include them with your building blueprints to go to your building officials, and you should be able to get a replacement for fiberglass rebar, right on the spot. These design guides, we have them for Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Northwestern Ontario, and if you're doing any work stuff in the territories, kind of in our markets, we have certification in all of those provinces. If you want to talk about fiberglass rebar, we'd be happy to talk to you at any of our stores and how we can get this product into your hands and get a trial for you. Thanks.